What a press conference from Igor Tudor. Really interesting one, but mamma mia, a few statements from Igor here. The first one, when I arrived, the team was in a hole. A deep hole, and that's the first big one. The second one, I would love to, but we can't do more right now. Totally honest, totally open, transparent. Igor Tudor, that in the beginning of the press conference was trying to go with the prepared answers, but at a certain moment he opens his heart. And when he's opening his heart, we are obliged to go through what he said today. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. Second video of the day, I send you back to the video this morning with the mind, the plan of John Elkann is extremely full video. Interesting video. If the plan of John Elkann is the one that I explained in the video, it could be a good plan. Not sure if it will happen or not. Go back because we speak about mercato, we speak about coach, we speak about management, we speak about physiotherapist. So for the people that didn't yet, please go because it's an important one. Like this one is important for the pre-game of Juventus Udinese. First of all, to be totally honest, it's a bit strange what happened today because usually we are doing the press conference one day before the game. This time, I don't know why, they actually changed the schedule, doing it 2 days before. And it's not because we travel, because we are not playing away from home. We are playing in our home. I know that tomorrow morning there will be the training session. Probably he plans to do 2 training sessions. I don't know. I really cannot explain why 2 days before. I know that usually it's the coach that is a bit deciding when it's better for him. They communicate to the journalists. So he decides like that. Why? I don't know. Anyway, let's move on that one, but I just wanted to say and underline it because it was an important one. Let's start first with the easy things, the easy to say, not the easy for Tudor, the problems of the lineups. Gatti, he said it, look, with what he did this week in terms of training session, maximum that he can play is what he did against Lazio. For people that forgot, he entered at the 86th minute. So is Gatti available for 4 minutes or 4 plus 9 minutes of injury time, which means 13 minutes. That's the max that he can do. So can we count on Federico tomorrow? No, we cannot. He will be there with the team on the bench, but that's it. Kelly will be back. And then he said, I don't want to speak about the lineups. I don't want to speak about formation, if we will go towards a 4-man defense or a 3-man defense, because I don't want to give any advantage to our opponent. At least, you know, lineup. He doesn't want to speak about formation. Not Gatti. That was key in that 3-man defense. Is not there, so we don't know. Big question mark. Let's see what Giovanni Albanese will say this evening around 11 p.m. Italian time. But now we go towards the big ones of that interesting, really interesting, but probably confronting press conference. He said, look, I prefer other ones to speak about myself, to judge me instead of me being here speaking. But what I can say is that we did a good work. We did a good work despite all the problems, which I'm obliged to underline. Since I'm here, Gatti, never at disposal. Koopmeiners, it's already the 5th game. Yildiz, 2 games out, plus actually an entire half against Monza. Lloyd, because he doesn't call him Lloyd Kelly. Every time he's speaking about the surname, the family name, but never about Kelly. I don't know why he's speaking Lloyd instead of Kelly. Anyway, that's a bit of the press conference. Cambiaso, also him not being there. 2 games where we played with 1 man down. With all the problems, or without all the problems, this team, I'm sure this team could give much more than what they give at the moment. We could compete with everyone already this season. People are saying, yeah, we are Juventus. Don't need to speak about this, about that, about the injuries. Oh, a Juve with Bremer, with Gatti, with Vlahovic, with Koopmeiners is one Juventus. A Juventus without these players is a different one. It's not an excuse, but it's a reality. If sometimes you see my eyes that are flipping around, it's because I'm reading the text, my recap of the translation of the press conference with a bit of my notes there, here and there, because I don't remember everything by heart. At least you know why I'm doing like this. But it's tough what he's saying here. Huh? It's really tough. He's telling us it's not an excuse, but that's the reality. You have a Juventus with a complete team, a Juventus without a complete team. With a complete team, you can compete. Without, this is what we have. This is what we can do today. Now, I must say, after every game, I had, Tudor, the feeling that this team, they gave everything they had. Obviously, I want to win every single game. I want intensity for 90 minutes. I want calcio champagne. I want attacking even with one man down. But at the moment, it's not possible. We must understand the moments of the game and the moment in general, the context. Right now, I can tell you that guys, they're the players. They are giving everything, considering how I took the team. I took over, we were in a hole. A deep hole. I'm not saying anything new here. Everyone is aware about that. Mamma mia. Big words, huh? Tudor is telling us the reality. He's telling us what we already knew, what we were speaking about here today. Don't forget the context. He arrives after the 4-0 loss against Atalanta in our home. The biggest loss is, what was it, 1960, something like that. And the 3-0 loss away at Fiorentina with the banner, remember? Juve M 7-0 in 2 games, 7 goals conceded, 0 goals scored. He arrives after Thiago Motta left. The team is in a hole. A deep hole. Just telling us the state of the team. He says, look, consider everything. I think that they climbed that hole and then went out of it quite fast. The result that we have today, that's the max that we can do. Yeah, of course. Parma. Yeah, of course. We play, don't forget, Bologna, Roma, Lazio. Direct opponents for the 4th spot. We all play them away. That's the reality. Against Lazio, until the red card, we were deserving a bit more. This is what Tudor is saying. He's telling us. That's the reality. At home, we did our job. We won. Pay attention, Tudor. I am superstitious. If you're telling me we won all the games that we play at home, tomorrow, on Sunday, I will be there. Hopefully, we continue with that streak. That is fundamental, is important. At least he showed us that he's not really superstitious. We need to do the job against Udinese. But he's confronting, he's telling us, guys, this team, that's what we have. That's the material that we have. Without Bremer, without Koop, without Vlahovic, that's the team that we have. They do the max. Don't blame them. They do everything, or at least don't blame them in terms of what they want to give, because they really give everything. But what is it? What he's saying, which is not really saying? He's telling us, guys, the team right now, as we have, is not at the level. We are doing a miracle. If we qualify to Champions League, it's because of the will that they have, not because of the qualities. Just under brackets, tomorrow we could play because we are obliged with a 4-man defense that is made about Di Gregorio, Alberto Costa as a right back, Veiga and Kelly as center defenders, and Weah, depending if Cambiaso is able to recuperate or not, as a left back. Weah out of position. Alberto Costa, for the first time we will see him as a real right back, because we saw him with Thiago Motta for a few minutes there as a right back, but it was not really a right back because he was playing quite offensively. So him for the first time in a 4-man defense on the back. Veiga, Kelly, I don't remember if they played a game together in center backs in a 4-man defense at Juve. I don't remember, honestly, I don't think so. Do you remember a Juve with a defense like that one? We like it or we don't like it. I can understand in a way what Tudor is telling us. He continues, what about being a psychologist? Is it fundamental in a coach job? He said, yeah, for every single coach, it's really fundamental, it's crucial, super important, because you speak in different ways to a team or to each individual, depending also on the game that you will play. For example, some things you can say to a Buffon, to a Chiellini, to a Bonucci, people from 35 years old, with experience behind the back, with a lot of trophies behind the back. You can tell them in one way, you can tell them many things. On the other side, and then it doesn't continue the sentence. What does it mean by on the other side? That this team, they are not mature enough. They don't have that maturity, that leadership. They don't have that experience. We knew it, we said it. One of the big problems of this team is that maturity. We said it. He's confirming it. Then he's also speaking about Conte, because he received that question about his future being confirmed or not. Are you suffering hearing about the voices about Antonio Conte? Which he said, look, I enjoy and I also suffer every single day. Not because of my future, but because how I'm preparing the game for the next game. In this case, Udinese. Not about the future, not at all. What about Antonio Conte? I don't feel inferior to anybody. That's the title of the papers from tomorrow. Tudor said, I don't feel inferior to Antonio Conte. That's the title. The journalist, he asked a really smart question, and that was the moment where Igor Tudor was opening his heart, when he was speaking with full sincerity. The first few questions were him trying to dribble. At a certain moment he went. Udinese, a tough game. He said this really smart question about Udinese, because yes, they are really physical, they run a lot. People that are thinking that it's an easy game because they are already they have nothing to win, they have nothing to lose. Udinese, pay attention. Look at the game against Napoli. 1-1. Napoli, Udinese, they were playing away. 1-1. Look at, that's what I am adding. 3 games ago against Bologna. They stopped actually the run for Bologna that was doing fantastically. They could have been, you remember? And then he spoke about the individuals. What about Dusan Vlahovic? He said, look, it's a great opportunity for him, like for everyone. I'm sure he will help until the end of the season. Fino alla fine. No, he said, I'm sure he will help until the end. Aiuterà, ci darà una mano fino alla fine. He didn't speak about the end of the season or whatever. Look, the answer about Dusan Vlahovic was fast. Next, I don't want to speak about Dusan. About Yildiz, of course he suffered a lot. Yeah, of that red card. Of course he suffered a lot. But I told him, Kenan, tomorrow when you play, don't think about showing too much in terms of I want to make sure that I'm asking for forgiveness. Play your game. Do your game as usual. Don't overdo because you want to ask forgiveness. And that's an important one. He's young. He made a mistake. He was aware of it. He said sorry. That's okay. We close the case. Show us on the field, but not because you want to ask forgiveness. That's not what we are asking, and that's really smart when we are speaking about psychologists. And then about the next gen, maybe 1 or 2 we will call up. Let's see tomorrow, because we still have training session. He didn't want to say the names of the players that it could potentially call up. For what reason? Probably because he didn't even communicate to them. Who could it be? Let's see, maybe Gil Pucce. Maybe a player up front, maybe a player in the middle. I don't know. Let's see for tomorrow. Anyway, that was the press conference of Igor Tudor. 15 minutes. Our video is shorter than his press conference. Again, open Tudor. That's what we have at the moment, and that's what we have to do with. Of course, there are a lot of things that created problems when I arrived that probably I was not expecting to have so few players at disposal, but that's a reality. So it's tough, and we'll have to fight. The guys are giving everything. Can we go towards my idea of football, everything that I want to put on the field? No. And that's probably something that he says without saying it. I would love to do much more with that team. I have better ideas, not defending with 10 men because we are obliged to against Lazio, not against Bologna, changing my game. But at the moment, that's what we can do. So don't blame too much at the moment, the guys. Don't blame them. We will see for the future. Ragazzi, that's it for the second video of the day. I'm not sure if I will post it immediately or I will wait a bit so that you can enjoy the first video of the day. That is extremely important for the future of Juve. If you didn't yet, please, maximum of like. Don't forget to subscribe. Grazie, forza, Juve.